The federal court action taken by U.S. car giant Jeep against two of its former Australian bosses for allegedly misusing $30 million in company funds has been dropped just days before the first hearing, avoiding a public slanging match. Last year, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, the parent company of Jeep, launched federal court action against Clyde Campbell, who ran the company from October 2010 to May 2013, and his successor Veronica Johns, who was in charge until December 2014. In his defense, lawyers for Mr. Campbell said the corporate spending was approved by the highest levels of management. Both executives oversaw record sales for the brand during their tenure, but documents filed in the federal court in May 2015 claimed the bosses spent company funds on lavish corporate events and uncommercial sponsorship deals, including handing out free loan cars to brand ambassadors such as model Jessenta Campbell, cricket legend Shane Warne, and soccer star Harry Kewell. However, the court action has now ended suddenly, with a brief statement being issued by Jeep. The parties to the FCA Australia v Clyde Campbell legal proceeding have agreed to a settlement, without admission of liability of any party. The terms of the settlement are both confidential and mutually acceptable. Quote, the spokeswoman for Jeep, Lucy McClellan, told News Corp Australia that she cannot comment beyond the statement agreed to by all parties. It is not known what the terms of the settlement include, but News Corp Australia understands there will be no action taken against either of the former bosses, or Mr. Campbell's wife, Simone, who was also named in the statement of claim filed by Jeep in the federal court. In the months leading up to the first hearing due in late September, Jeep had watered down or removed the majority of allegations against its former bosses and associates. The whole case has now been dropped. News Corp Australia understands earlier this year Jeep had to pay compensation to Harry Kewell after breaking a multi-million-dollar sponsorship deal arranged by the former bosses. It has been a turbulent 2 years for Jeep, not only because of the court action and several high-profile, viral YouTube videos produced by customers complaining about the poor quality of its cars. Sales across Jeep and its associated brands, including Alfa Romeo, Fiat and Chrysler, have hit new lows, down by a staggering 50%. Despite 2 years in a row of record new car sales in Australia, the US carmaker says price rises driven by currency pressure contributed to the massive sales slowdown. However, most other brands also affected by foreign currency movements have posted significant sales gains over the same period. Jeep Australia recently appointed a new boss, an American-born executive, Steve Zanlungi, who has worked in the US and overseas for much of his career. Mr. Zanlungi replaced American Pat Doherty, a former high-ranking spare parts expert within the company, who left his Melbourne posting early, after launching the costly legal action against his predecessors within months of his arrival. Mr. Doherty was appointed as the boss of Jeep Australia in December 2014 on a 3-year contract, but it was cut short of the 2-year mark in the wake of the dramatic sales slide. News Corp Australia has approached representatives for former bosses Clyde Campbell and Veronica Johns for comment. This reporter is on Twitter @JoshUatAllen.